my name is Revati and I'm here to walk you through the Lab1. So the first step was, our first task was to set up VMware and download Ubuntu, so that has been done. And then the next one was where Python and pip had to be installed. So just for the demonstration of this, for the assignment, I'll be checking the versions of Python and pip. So we see that Python and pip are both installed, and yeah, we can move on to task 1. So based on the folder structure, I'll be navigating to the scripts directory, and the first task was to create a simple Python script and greet the user by taking the user's name as the input. So yeah, so that's task 1. Then the second task was to write a web scraping script where we want the market banner data, which is this section of the web page, and we wanted the latest news section as well. So yeah, that's the latest news section of the web page that we want to scrape. So we were tasked with importing necessary libraries and installing them, like Beautiful Soup and Selenium. So Selenium is used where there's dynamically generated content that we want to load, and Beautiful Soup parses the HTML that we obtain through Selenium, and it enables the code to locate certain elements that we need. So for the purpose of this assignment, we want to scrape the market banner and the latest news section, so we do that using Beautiful Soup. And Selenium enables us to fetch the data from the CNBC webpage while waiting and loading and ensuring that we are retrieving the dynamic data accurately. So let's run the code first, and then I'll walk you through the script as well. So to monitor the execution of the code, we can head back to the terminal to see the execution well. So yeah, so as mentioned, we are storing the market banner and the latest news section in webdata.html. So to just have a quick look at web data, we can take a look at the file. We can take a look at the web page, whatever we are trying to scrape. So just the latest news section and the market data is being scraped and stored. So that was the first part. So I'll do a quick code walkthrough as well. Yeah, so we can do this using the cat command on the terminal as well, but it's easy to walk you through and read it on the text editor, so I'll be using that. So yeah, so first we are importing the necessary libraries. Then I've specified the path to the Gecko driver, which is required for Selenium to interact with the Firefox browser. Then the folder structure is defined based on the assignment. Then the URL is mentioned. Then we are setting up Firefox with Gecko drivers. So service and driver are defined for automating the browser interactions. A sleep time of 10 is introduced to ensure that the timestamp for the latest news section is fetched. And then the data is being parsed using Beautiful Soup. The script locates market data and the latest news HTML elements on the page by identifying the necessary or respective classes. The extracted HTML code is then parsed and is prettified and saved as webdata.html. So we are prettifying it to make sure that it's structured well and it's easy to read as well. And finally, we are printing out the first 10 lines of the code. So that's for the first part of my assignment. Then yeah, the second task was to filter out this data. So I'll run the code on the terminal. So I've added print statements to just aid in understanding. So the HTML is first parsed, the market data is filtered, and we're storing the data that we want in the list. So market symbol, stock position, and change percentage is what was mentioned in the assignment. So I've printed it out on the terminal. I'll as the data was not a lot, but for news data, since the data is a lot, I have not printed it out on the terminal, but the structure is going to be the same. Next, I've created the data market data CSV, and then the news data.csv. So I'll do a quick code walkthrough and then I'll head to the output files. So I'm importing the necessary libraries, and this code is essentially focusing on extracting and filtering data from the previously scraped HTML file that was generated. First, again, similarly, the folder structure is defined, and then I'm reading the webdata.html file. The file is being parsed using Beautiful Soup, and then the first task was to fetch the market data. So data is extracted from the market banner section. It checks if the market data is successfully located, and if so, it reads through each market card to extract the symbol, the stock position, and the change percentage. And then I'm writing this to a CSV file, including the headers, which I mentioned here. Next, if there is an error, I have also just added a print statement to let the user know. Next is the latest news section, where similarly data is extracted from the latest news section of the HTML. And I'm checking if the latest news is successfully located, and if so, iterating through each of the news item to extract timestamp, title, and the link. And finally, this is also being printed and stored in a CSV file. So similarly, I've added a print statement in case the script encounters difficulties in fetching the market banner or the news data section. So that was the walkthrough of the code, and then I can head to the files. So the files can be accessed over here under the process data section. So yeah, we have the necessary files generated. So that's the first, and then we have the news as well. So it's easier to look at this file in the editor, so let's do that. So that's the market symbol, stock position, and change percentage that was required. That's the first file, and then this is the news data.csv. Yeah, so that's the timestamp, the title, and the link. So that is basically task 3, which was the data filtering part. And yeah, that's the explanation of the first lab assignment. Thank you.